What's up?
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to y'all.
We're back.
Yeah, buddy.
Better than ever.
You know, actually, we are better than ever.
So for that, just make sure you subscribe to this channel.
Please go ahead, like,
know what time
subscribe.
it is.
Let's keep rocking with us. Every year we try to like elevate the podcast, keep this thing going. And this year we taking it outside of Chicago, but tying it back to Chicago.
Right. You're still going to hear Chicago history.
Yeah.
It's just going to involve more
detail.
More Chicago history.
To let you know that we the best source of history in Chicago.
And outside of it.
And outside of it. God damn it.
Working on that title.
You know?
Working title.
Working title. Anyway, today, outside of Chicago, we are starting here in Joliet, Illinois, talking about the I&M Canal.
Yeah, buddy. Illinois, Michigan.
Illinois-Michigan Canal, and just to keep it real short, it is named after the two lakes, the lake and the river.
Correct.
Yes, correct. The lake and the river. And also, it is the first national heritage area in all of the United States history.
Yeah.
It started later. We'll get into that a little bit later. But the way we want to do this is tell you some history. That's why we're out here in Joliet. Take it all the way back, way back in the time.
Way back.
Way back. So that's what we're going to do. Let's get it. All right, this journey starts not here in Joliet. It starts all the way up in Michigan, actually.
Correct.
But even before then, we're going to take you back. I'm going to take you all the way back centuries. Okay, centuries. We're talking like the early 1300s, back when the natives used to live here, and this was their land, right? And still is their land. It still is their land. The Native Americans used to use this passage, right, from Michigan, and really this part of Illinois, used to use this to, you know, trade and live and survive. This was a survival thing, right? So, but this lasted a long time, well before the Europeans came and did what they had
Conquered.
to do. Right.
They didn't have to. They just did.
Yeah. So right. So this dates before then. So I just want to give you some context.
Yeah.
The Illinois-Michigan Canal, that started what, 1848? You'll get
1848,
to get that a little bit later, but let's start a little bit after the natives came. So what happened? How did this even get to be known? The natives had already mapped this thing out, right? They already knew that this thing exists, but maps weren't really dated. It was just like noted type of things. They knew, right? But a lot of people didn't know. So it wasn't until May 17th, May 17th, was it 1673, right? When two guys by the name of Louis Joliet and Jacques Marquette, they were Canadian, French, European type of dudes. They lived up in Quebec.
Canadian, French, European kind of good dudes.
Yeah, you know, like
rolling around in their graves right now.
right. Father Marquette, you know, that was his title. He was a priest. But they set out on an expedition to find this Midwest area, and to like see what's all about. So
you know how white people love to discover shit.
Man, you know, they started in Michigan, St. Ignace or Ignace. I don't know.
Would it be like St. Ignatius?
Nope. It was Ignace, INGAC, Michigan. Right. They started there. And they set sail with a whole bunch of other people too. It wasn't just those two, obviously, right? They set sail and they started there, went to Green Bay, Wisconsin first.
Wow.
Yeah, they went to Green Bay. Yeah, I know, boo. They went to Green Bay, Wisconsin first to kind of see what's out here in the Midwest. And really their point was they wanted to see the northern part of the Mississippi River.
Actually, to that point, did you know that this area was actually called the Northwest, not the Midwest?
Yes. Look at it, Coin. This Illinois used to be considered the Northwest part of the United States. So
until you know.
Until they
more expansion.
More expansion. So they set out, like I said, Green Bay was one of their first stops. They continued west down rivers up in Wisconsin. Go check out 77 Flavors of Wisconsin if you care about that. But they continue, right? They continue until they got to the northern part of the Mississippi River. And that's where they were like, oh, this is kind of dope.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, this is cool. So they took that trail down They took the trail all the way down, and when they got to a certain point, they were like, all right, well, we got to the point. Now we know that the northern part exists, right? So we don't really need to do too much more there because we didn't already had the south was already mapped out. Fun fact, that was mapped out a whole 130 years earlier. We had an impasse here.
I think we can go up.
Oh, we can keep on going. Yeah, right here. Yeah. 130 years earlier by a guy named Herodotus de Soto.
Okay.
He had mapped out, he was obviously Spaniard, European. He had mapped out the southern part of the Mississippi River in 1541. That's the earliest noted mapping of there for Europeans, not the natives. Not the natives. So pretty dope. Pretty dope. So they had stopped and were like, yeah, we're good. We're gonna go back. But the trip back was different. And I'll tell you about that in a second. Let's keep exploring. So right now we're exploring, right?
Yeah.
we're here at the the Joliet
Steelwork Park. It's the I&M Trail.
Yeah.
Out here.
Yeah. And so
very steelworky.
Yeah, very. So we're just so that you all know, we are alongside of the trail.
Of the canal.
Of the canal, yeah.
Yeah.
So we're alongside of it, trying to get to
as close as
we can to it.
It's not. Spoiler alert: the canal is closed.
Yeah. Yeah. There's
so
just
it's not accessible from everywhere.
Yeah, it's like, oh, look at this. Damn. As you said that. Look.
I was looking at that and I tripped.
Oh wow. Let me show y'all what we're looking at. Yeah.
Brick.
What is this right here? That little brick.
Just brick.
Yeah, that's different.
They said don't worry about it.
Interesting. Huh. We're gonna the next part of this story kind of is a big deal. It's kind of a big deal. So let's continue to look and we'll see if we get closer.
Let's look how close we are.
Look, we are right next to it.
Where's the canal?
Right there, that little sliver right there.
And look where we are.
Well, technically this thing right here, but this is
because that's the Des Plaines River.
Yeah.
And that's the canal.
Which I'll tell you about the Des Plaines River.
And the trail just goes parallel to the canal.
Yeah, pretty dope.
Yeah.
Let's continue.
Wow,
look at this, y'all.
Just random.
Random here in Joliet. 1876, the telephone was invented.
1874.
1874. What does this say?
Joliet
Opera House opens doors. Look at that.
Wait, let's see.
Let's continue down this. What is this? 1877.
Phonograph is invented.
Yeah, phonograph. Here we go. What else we got? Oh,
this one.
This was a blank year.
Gone.
Yeah.
Ooh, Red Cross.
Red Cross, 1882. Boy, Joliet, y'all got history out here.
Blank.
There's one more here.
1885.
1885.
First skyscraper built in
Chicago. What's up?
10 stories, baby.
Let's go.
Okay, I think we found some water. I'm gonna squat like it's a rap video. But literally, I don't know if this is it, but there's water.
This is definitely it, though. That's definitely part of the.
Part of it?
Yep.
Because it goes all the way over there.
Yep. There it is.
Let's keep going.
Yep. All right, so to wrap up this part of it, once they decided to head back up the Mississippi River, they were like, man, it's gonna take a little while to go back.
Yeah.
You know, because that was some months, that was some times that they spent out there. And so what happened was they ran into some natives that said, hey,
we'll take you.
No, here's a shortcut.
Oh.
Here's a shortcut. And that's when they found the Illinois River, the mouth of the Illinois River. And they said, hey, why don't you use this trailway? Mm-hmm. And so they used this trailway.
Wow.
And they were like, all right, cool. So now we shortcut.
Yeah.
But in that time, they were like, all right, we need to settle. And one of the places they settled was right here in Joliet.
That's crazy.
They settled right here. They had they settled by the Des Plaines River.
Right.
That's why we're here.
Yep.
And they set on the mound of a hill that looked towards Chicago. What they didn't know would be Chicago, but it looked towards Chicago. And that mound or hill was called Mount Joliet. That's what they named it.
Believe it or not, the canal actually goes up to 141 feet of elevation.
Yeah.
Even though Illinois is considered technically kind of flat, but maybe up there will be a view.
Maybe, but we cannot get on there.
No,
That's
we
trespassing.
can't. Look.
Oh yeah, we can.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Okay.
But ain't that dope, y'all?
That is really
ain't
cool.
That dope?
Also,
we right
look,
here.
Look behind us. It's like remnants of the.
Yeah. Look at that.
Look at that.
It's pretty dope.
Crazy.
Yeah, but we're gonna keep on going. This is dope. But
A little.
yeah, Joliet. That's how Joliet was founded.
Crazy.
Ain't that crazy? Well, that's what Joliet was named. It wasn't
Yeah,
founded.
yeah. Right.
Let me not do it. It's not
Right.
no, yeah, right. But let's keep on going. Hey, look, y'all.
No view.
Nothing.
Well, no view of the canal.
No view of the canal here.
But a view
Yeah. Yeah. Look.
of the ruins of the steelwork.
Yeah. Nothing. But pretty cool still. Now to continue our story.
Watch your step.
Yep. We are going to head up the canal, just like Louis Joliet and Jacques Marquette did, and we're going to continue up that trail. It wasn't even the I&M Canal at that point.
Right. It was not.
It was not even. It was just the canal. But the next part of the story is how it became a canal. But we're going to take some stops along the way.
Yeah.
Next stop, about 6 miles from here, Lockport.
Lockport, baby.
Let's get it.
I've never been to Lockport.
I've been.
Yeah?
Ain't much there.
Damn.
Let's go.
I can't believe we walked all this.
Yeah. That's part of the thing y'all don't see is when we do this shit,
We gotta walk back.
we gotta walk back. It ain't like we got no chauffeur or nothing like that. We gotta walk our goofy asses all the way back. But we continue to walk.
And it's cold.
And it's
But
cold.
these sweaters are warm.
Which you can pick up whenever we release them again.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
sold out.
They sold out right now. Shout out to the people that got one.
Shout out to the plug.
You know what I'm saying?
Megan.
Hey. Okay, we're still walking. Let's go.
I literally can't even see the parking lot.
Yeah, no. That's why we should stay our
Did
asses
we
in
walk this
Chicago.
way?
Yeah.
I mean, we still walk a shit ton in Chicago.
Yeah, but at least we got buildings and shit.
Damn. All right, y'all. So we found the canal.
Yeah.
Of course, we knew we were going to.
Right.
This is we're in Lockport.
Yeah.
This was actually the landing, the main landing,
Mm-hmm.
and so it's where freight would unload, people would dock their boats, and Lockport is packed with history. But to give you an idea, the canal was 96 miles long.
That's long.
But technically it's considered short. It was based off of. The reason we got it is because the Erie Canal
Right.
in the east
Right.
became so successful
Yeah.
with freight moves and stuff like that. They were like, let's try it in the next, second city.
Hey.
So
Hey.
they tried it at the time. It wasn't a second city, but they
Right.
said, let's try it in Chicago.
Well,
And
we
so-
were 1841, right? 1848,
right.
but
the
I guess
city was young.
Yeah,
it was
right,
a young
right,
city.
yeah.
Or a town. Was
We-
it a city at that point, or was
yeah,
it
it
still
was
a town?
1837
Oh.
is when 1837 is when Chicago was started. So 18, a few
Well-
years after that, 11 years after that,
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Erie Canal was super successful. They wanted to try it here at the I&M Canal, and so it was a third the size of Erie Canal. So that
Yeah.
one was like over 300. This one is 96.
Right.
But it was very successful nonetheless. There was a boom in trade in Chicago. Obviously, it connected from Lake Michigan to Illinois River to the Mississippi River to the Gulf of Mexico. So
Man.
imagine
Yeah.
all of Chicago is known for its sugar and candy and molasses. Imagine all that stuff that came up from the South.
Look, it's crazy how we 3 years later we still tying all this stuff together.
Yeah.
'Cause we talked about how many times Chicago grew because of the river and the
Right.
passageways. We are literally sitting
Yeah.
on what helped us grow.
Right, and it's really named like the water passages that built Chicago,
Yeah.
right? Because
Yeah.
they truly did, and
Built
we'll talk
Chicago.
a little bit more about that when we get to Chicago. All right, I have a couple fun facts about the canal itself. So the project was actually meant to only take like a year or two to build.
A year, they thought a year or
thought
two
a
to
year or
build
two to
96 miles.
96 miles. They thought no big deal. They actually sold a lot of the land surrounding the canal to fund the building of the canal. So people were going to settle there. About 60 communities settled there, and
Oh,
that
wow.
became the National Heritage Site.
So this
Because-
whole trail that we've been going
Right.
all the way down to the La Salle in Peru.
Exactly.
All the way down there.
But it was delayed by 12 years.
12 years.
12 years.
That's one hell of a delay. That's like the Eden Expressway in the
Literally.
Kennedy and shit. Like,
Just right on brand.
yeah, just right. Just,
And the reason it was delayed so much is because they dug by hand.
Bro, come
They
on.
dug
They
by
didn't
hand.
dig.
I mean,
96 miles?
What are they gonna dig with?
I would have had to. You know what? We gonna have to figure out a way.
Yeah.
Get some horses.
I mean, unfortunately, like the work, obviously there were no labor laws or
Right,
anything like
right.
that, so it was gruesome.
That's
People
crazy.
died. It was very expensive. But yeah, it was horrible, and so it was delayed by 12 years. But eventually it opened up, and this was one of the main areas. This was the landing town, basically.
Yeah, and
So,
there's a lot of history.
so much.
Like talking about the landing that you're talking about, literally all over here.
Yeah.
We're gonna show you some B-roll of everything we got, but like check it out.
Yeah. So
We're-
the public landing, we're sitting.
We're
between-
literally look at the river.
Yeah,
that's
and
it.
then there's a lot of buildings that existed at the time that are still here. So we're between the north and the south public landing, and then there's like a warehouse, a building that was once used as a warehouse that's now a restaurant.
Oh,
which
so
is-
that's the warehouse?
yeah.
What?
Gaylord and Co. used to be a warehouse, but it's now a restaurant.
Oh, hey, now that's crazy. Okay, so that's one of the OG buildings.
Yeah.
1840. Damn.
Old
Wow.
as hell.
Okay.
Yeah, and you can walk up and down. There's Lockport
Yeah, this is beautiful.
Has a beautiful, like, I want to say canal front, because it's not really a
Yeah.
riverfront, river walk.
Yeah.
That you can walk up and down. People are
Bruh.
walking up and down the
And
trail.
this neighborhoods, is it people live right here?
Yeah, could never be me, but
Yeah,
people
no,
live here.
hell no. But we
It's a little small.
It is a
but
little
it's
small.
very beautiful. There's a couple museums. Considering how small it is, there's like
right in the like
decent amount of
in
museums.
walking, like
Yeah.
we can. This is crazy.
And this promenade that we're sitting in is really beautiful.
Yeah, this is gorgeous,
Yeah.
yo, Key. Man, let's y'all, we traveling. We doing what Joliet and Marquette did. we moving
Just
up.
like
the,
not the same energy.
not the
though.
definitely not same energy.
Not on the conqueror
Yeah,
shit.
no, not it. No, not it. No. We try not to be conquered, but that's a different story. Yeah. We gonna continue the trail. It's 77 places in Chicago. We can't start the season out in different places and not
You
go
know?
back home.
You
So
know?
that's what we're doing. We're gonna take a look around here, but we gonna
We'll
head.
see what we find.
We're gonna see what we find. We're gonna head back to Chicago.
Finish the story there.
Let's get it.
Let's get it.
Y'all, this is an original Chicago sanitary canal sign here at the Illinois Michigan Canal Museum office.
Is that what it's called?
Will County
the Will County Historical Museum, which used to be the I&M Canal
That was
office.
the former name for it, yes.
But
Will County Museum.
look at what section 1. This is
It's very, very heavy.
heavy, y'all. Unreal. We back home. Sweet home Chicago.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah. All roads lead back home, more canals. Lead lead back to Chicago. We talked about like kind of the journey of, Joliet and Marquette.
Yep.
This is kind of where they came back to Chicago. They led up to here. They didn't know they was Chicago at the time.
Right.
It wasn't Chicago back in, 1673. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't no Chicago right around there, not even thought of.
Yeah.
But they mapped out the area, right? They mapped out Chicago, or what they knew of the Mississippi and the Midwest via the canals. And we know today that that's how Chicago really got started.
Yeah.
With trade, transportation, goods, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so like we left off in Lockport, the canal was booming, trade was booming. The canal did a lot of things for Chicago. So one of the things was obviously connecting it to the east.
Right.
That was major.
Thank you. Appreciate it. You're looking out.
Can't be.
Down bad.
I got chips on my shirt.
Yeah.
Hold on. So obviously connecting it to the east, there was a lot of trade from the south. A lot of goods like sugar and stuff like that, like we mentioned, came out to Chicago.
They knew they could connect now.
One really cool thing is the Board of Trade, the canal, that like trade that happened with the canal or through the canal, kind of led the way to the Board of Trade being created. So that is like the reason that they started the Board of Trade here in Chicago. So
fun fact.
yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense.
Unfortunately, in 1900, the other canal opened, the sanitation.
The Chicago Sanitary and Ship Canal.
Yep.
Right there by Lockport.
Yep. 1900 that opened, and so it kind of like made the canal obsolete.
Yeah.
So they didn't need to. And so in 1933, why am I?
Canal is kicking your ass.
I know.
Just-
But like, what is the I&M
Canal? Yeah.
The I&M Canal shut down,
Shut down.
and it is now
Recreation in a lot of different spots.
Yeah.
But that's the history of it. And the cool thing is you can celebrate all the way
Through April.
through April of 2024. Sorry, y'all. The SD card got full, so we had to. They stopped us right in our tracks. But you could celebrate, is what we were saying.
Yep.
They celebrate 175 years all up and down the Canal Trail. There's an app that you can go to once you get to one of the posts.
Yeah.
You can scan. It'll tell you some history, tell you where to go. Pretty dope.
The website has all this information too. By
Yes.
the way, there's an event calendar and everything.
Yes. There you have it. The I&M Canal, a huge part of Chicago history and how we started.
Water passageways that built Chicago.
Get ready for a long year. If you like this episode,
Go ahead and subscribe, share it, send it to someone. That's the best way to support us. To support our content, we do this shit for free, so you can enjoy it for free. So the only way for you to pay us is to like this video, comment something, comment what you're looking forward to next year, and share it with someone that you enjoy.
there you go. 2024, let's get it.